When I was 7, my mom got onto drugs. I was young, but from her recounting the time, it was pills, OxyContin and others. That wasn't bad, not really. As time went on, she progressed to heroin, and later crack and heroin. My dad, the first time he had ever hit me was around this time. I wouldn't clean my cousin's room. He picked me up by my arms and swung me clear across that same room. He bought me McDonald's afterwards, and I, being a resilient little kid, was fine. My mom lost our childhood home and we moved into a barely furnished house, and sometimes she wouldn't wake up and there wasn't really any food for my 4-year-old brother and I, but I was still happy. Then I went to live with my dad at 9, for obvious reasons. I wished I'd been left with my mom. After the first incident, he hadn't laid hands on me again until around this time. I can't remember what I was doing, but he threw a screwdriver at me and sliced my knee open. It was infrequent at first. A slap here, something thrown at me there. Once he started dating his now ex-wife, that's when things ramped up. He got a cat, and the cat did something to anger him. He beat the cat by throwing it against the wall repeatedly, and when I was screaming at him to stop, he kicked me off into a wall. The cat died. He got a dog, and once was gone all day. When we got home, the dog had pooped on the floor. We were gone for 12 hours. He beat that dog within an inch of its life, to the point she was shitting while being flung mid-air. We didn't know it at the time, but the dog, Shiva, was pregnant. Not long after that, she gave birth to 5 to 6 stillborns. My dad put the bodies in a Kroger bag, and tried to make me carry the corpses to the trash. I couldn't bring myself to carry a bag of dead puppies. I was crying so hard, but he ended up kicking me down the stairs and throwing the bag at me. I took the bag to the trash. Once I was woken up on a school night by my dad and stepmom having sex. I threw a Beanie Baby at their door. My dad came in and beat the shit out of me with the Beanie Baby. You really can't understand how much they hurt until a 300-pound 6 feet man is beating a 9-year-old with it. Once I turned 10, it became an almost everyday thing. I got lice, and got my head slammed into the table while he was checking my head. I washed a dish wrong, and he would wait until that night while I was sleeping to wake me up by beating me. There are a lot of incidents that blend together, just your standard punching and kicking and swinging by the hair, so I'll outline the things that stick out to me. Once he had me outside breaking down a pile of sticks and logs. After a week of that, I asked if I could have the day off. He took a broom and shoved it into my throat. I couldn't breathe. Imagine a 10-year-old, on the floor gasping like a fish, struggling to breath, while her father is staring down at her the whole time. Eventually he decided I was allowed to breathe again, and started massaging my trachea until the gasping stopped. I thought I was going to die that day. Another time we were in McDonald's drive-thru line. I was in the backseat, reading. Out of nowhere my father took the lid to the center console. It was broken and came off easily, and slammed it on the side of my head. I was seeing stars. He said, "I fucking told you to stop humming." I wasn't humming once we had moved into a new house, and our new neighbors just so happened to be some childhood friends I had from the before times. I was so excited. I wasn't allowed out of the house, but once when I saw them out of my bedroom window I leaned out and started talking to them, catching up on old times. He must have heard me, because he slammed into my room, picked me up by my hair, and slammed me into the wall. That house might still have a me-sized hole in the closet. Once he took a board with nails in it and hit me in the head. I was lucky it didn't do more, but there was so much blood. He took a drill to my leg. I still have a perfectly circular scar on my shin from that. I was 12 and had tried to fashion a noose out of a belt to hang myself in the closet. The closet bar didn't hold me, fortunately. I was always hungry. I was getting the same amount of food as my 5-year-old stepsister. This caused me to constantly try to sneak food from the kitchen when people were asleep. It caused me a lot of trouble, and eventually my stepsisters realized they could get into things and the blame would automatically be on me. Once they got into my stepmom's tampons and played with them, leaving them in the middle of the floor in my room. That one resulted in me getting stomped on. Another time they ate some butter straight from the container with their fingers. I'm not sure why that one got pinned on me, considering I was 8 years older than them and my fingers were nowhere near the same size, and I didn't even like butter. This is all just the physical stuff. This is all just the physical stuff. I'm not even getting into the mental and verbal aspects of it. I will say my real name wasn't used for years, and he used to send me into stores to steal stuff for him. By the time I was 13 it had reached the worst of it. At this point, my bedroom door was deadbolted shut, with 2 different latches, because I had figured out how to open the first. My windows were nailed shut. I had a pee bucket in my closet, and my bed was just 2 couch cushions. Sometimes they would forget to unlock my door when they woke up. This had resulted in some drastic measures, including the pee bucket, that I got beat for when discovered, and is why I had realized how to open the first deadbolt. Before my windows were nailed shut, I had started climbing out of my window on the 2nd floor, and climbing back in the house through a window I made sure was unlocked in the dining room. Knowing I wouldn't be able to pee for hours after waking, sometimes the whole day really pushed me. It came to a head when I got suspended at school. The reason was stupid. I had printed a poem about a teacher being a dinosaur nobody liked. But I thought that was the end for me. I thought I would die that night. So I just didn't go home. My bus dropped me off and I wandered the streets. I walked clear across the west side of my city, and back again. Eventually it was getting dark, and I was getting hungry, so I walked to Kroger's intending to steal something to eat and drink. While I was there, I just do happen to see a friend from school. I tried to convince her and her mom to let me stay with them for the night, explaining everything that has been happening to me.